terms of the suburbs, I just don't think there's a separate message. You know, I raised my family in the suburbs, San Francisco suburbs, and it was very red country. When I got there, it turned purple and then it turned blue. But suburban moms, when they heard George Floyd call out for his mother, this grown man on the ground with all these police officers and leaning on his neck, depriving him of oxygen. And he said, "Mama, mama." If you don't think that hit the women of the suburbs, not to say it didn't hit the men, but I'm very familiar with what women feel because we're moms, we're grandmas, we're aunts. And I think that, again, it all comes back to the America we're living in. And do we have a good alternative in Joe? Yes, somebody tested, somebody compassionate. I never met anyone more empathetic. And by the way, I served with him for so many years. He's a great legislator. And when Barack Obama wanted to pass health care, Joe helped get the votes. And when we needed that stimulus bill, and business people remember that moment, how we needed a stimulus to bring our economy back, was falling out of bed. And who did it? Joe. So I think we have the alternative to a very dangerous president.
Senator Boxer, no one could have watched that videotape with George Floyd and not have their heart go out to that man and to his family. No question about it. At the same time, in the wake of that, we had some fairly violent demonstrations someplace. And you can't watch the video, for example, in a place like Chicago and the rioting and the looting that went on without being concerned about it. We heard nothing about law and order out of this convention. Did the Democrats make a mistake? Because we surely are going to hear about it next week in the Republican convention.
Well, it's obvious. Look, Joe wrote the crime bill. Joe has the creds. Kamala was a prosecutor. So you're not going up against a ticket, that's going to say, oh, we don't need any police. And neither of them said defund the police. And I just do want to talk about your point about violence. That was a small percentage of the thousands and thousands of wonderful, good people who came out to say, we don't want to see this anymore. Black Lives Matter. And, the people who were doing the violence, we know people who are anarchists on the right and the left. Let's face it. I've been to enough marches to know, they try to wreck it for everybody because they don't care. All they want is chaos. So it was awful. And I was proud of our mayors and governors dealing with it. I thought when Trump sent in Homeland Security people like his own militia, that was a black eye for him. Nobody liked that. And people just said, what are they doing here? They didn't even have names on their shirts. You didn't know who they were. So this president, we've seen him for what he is. He doesn't know what he's doing. He wants to be a dictator. His best friends are dictators. It's unreal. It's unreal every day. And we have a very good ticket against it.
Senator Boxer, I don't want to let you go without talking about the